Hi, hello everyone. Myself Priyanka Pise, lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department, Jain Polytechnic, Belgavi. The video is mainly based on the subject Basic Electrical and Electronics Engineering, which is allotted for second semester mechanical students. The video is mainly based on second unit, that is electromagnetic induction and DC generator. In this video, we are going to cover some contents. Those are terms related to electromagnetic induction, Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, statically and dynamically induced EMF, and last one is DC generator. So we'll move to the first concept. It is magnetic field. So there is one magnet which you can see here. It is having two poles. N pole is nothing but north pole and S pole is nothing but south pole. So there are some properties of that magnet. The poles of the magnet cannot be separated. It means whenever I will break the magnet, poles cannot be separated. It means originally it is N pole and it will become S pole. And here it is S pole and here it will become N pole. So the poles of that magnet cannot be separated. Second property is, according to Coulomb's law, like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. So there are two magnets, magnet A and magnet B. So it is N pole and here also it is N pole. So these are called like poles. So it will repel each other, that will not be attracted. If I will reverse the pole, if I will make it as S pole and if I make it as N pole, so here it is N pole and here it is S pole. So these two are called as unlike poles which will be attracted. So these are the two properties of the magnet. And coming to the magnetic field, it is nothing but the space around a magnet in which magnetic flux exists. So I will give you an example here. I will take some iron particles and I will keep it towards this magnet. That those iron particles will be attracted by this magnet. So there is something which is happening. It is called magnetic field. So magnetic field is nothing but the space which is around a magnetic field in which magnetic flux exists. So moving to the next concept, it is magnetic flux. So magnetic flux is nothing but the imaginary lines of force which exist in a magnetic field. So there is one magnet shown here and in that around the magnet there will be a magnetic field. So there are some imaginary lines of force which will be traveling from north pole to south pole. It will not be in reverse direction. So how do we represent this magnetic flux? It is represented as phi and it is measured in terms of Webers. It is the unit of the magnetic flux and it is the representation of that magnetic flux. So moving to the next concept, it is magnetomotive force. Magnetomotive force is a force which creates a magnetic flux in a magnetic circuit. It is similar to the EMF in case of electrical circuit. So how do we represent this? It is represented as MMF, which is nothing but magnetomotive force, which is given as current into number of turns. So it is measured in terms of ampere turn. So it is the unit of this magnetomotive force. So we'll move to the next concept. It is flux density. Flux density is flux created per unit area. So how much flux will be created by using this 1 mm square magnet? It is called a flux density. So how do we represent this flux density? It is represented as B and the unit of flux density is nothing but flux divided by area. So the unit of flux is Weber and area is meter square. It is Weber per meter square or Tesla. It is the unit of this flux density. So we'll move to the next concept. It is reluctance. The property of magnetic material which opposes the the creation of flux is called reluctance. So it is similar to the resistance in case of electrical circuits. So the reluctance is given as mmf divided by magnetic flux. So what is the unit of mmf or magnetomotive force? It is ampere turns. And what is the unit of flux? It is Weber. So the unit of reluctance will be ampere turn per Weber. So we'll move to the next concept. It is Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. So before studying the Faraday's laws, we should know what is the meaning of this electromagnetic induction. That's why one diagram is shown here. In that diagram, we can see one coil is connected to the galvanometer and there is a one magnet. So in the first diagram, the magnet which is moving towards the coil. So the pointer of that galvanometer is deflecting in one direction. In second diagram, you can see that there is no movement of that magnet. So the galvanometer point is reading 0 here. So in the next diagram, in third diagram, the magnet is taking away from the coil. So the direction of that galvanometer is opposite to the direction of the galvanometer as in the first diagram. By this experiment, we can conclude that whenever there is movement of this magnetic flux or the magnet, there will be induced EMF will be generated in the coil. So it is given by the Faraday's laws. So we'll move to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Basically, there are two laws in the Faraday's laws. That is, first one, whenever the magnetic flux which is linking with a conductor changes, an EMF is induced in that conductor. Whenever there will be movement in the magnet, induced EMF will be induced in the coil. So from next law, second law, the magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of flux linking to the coil. So how much flux will be linking to that coil, that much amount of EMF will be induced in that coil. So it is given by second law. Now induced EMF are in two forms. Those are statically induced EMF and dynamically induced EMF. What is the meaning of statically induced EMF? In case of statically induced EMF, flux will be changing and conductor will be constant. So it is in case of statically induced EMF. There are basically two types in case of statically induced EMF. Those are self-induced EMF and mutually induced EMF. We'll see self-induced EMF. There is one picture shown here. One coil is there. It is connected to the supply. Whenever I will switch on the supply, current I will flow through the coil. Due to the current flow in this coil, flux will be produced in that coil. That flux will be linking to the same coil and EMF will be generated in the coil. So by this experiment, what we can say, self-induced EMF is nothing but the EMF induced in a coil due to change in its own magnetic flux which is linked to it. It is given by self-induced EMF. And we'll go to the next one. It is mutually induced EMF. So in case of mutually induced EMF, two coils you can see, coil A and coil B. The coil A which is connected to the supply and the coil B which is connected to the galvanometer. Whenever I will switch on the supply, again current I will be flowing through this coil A and there will be a production of the flux. This flux, whatever amount of flux which is created in coil A, that will be linked to the coil B. So the EMF will be induced in that coil B, which is shown by this galvanometer. So the meaning of mutually induced EMF is nothing but the EMF induced in a coil due to change in flux in the neighboring coil. It is given by mutually induced EMF. So where do we use this type of induced EMF? Means statically induced EMF is used in case of transformers. So we'll move to the next concept. It is dynamically induced EMF. As we know that in case of statically induced EMF, flux will be changing and conductor will be constant. But in case of dynamically induced EMF, there will be a rotation of the conductor and the flux which is linking to this, it will be constant. So where do we use dynamically induced EMF? So dynamically induced EMF are being used in case of generators. So we'll move to the next concept. It is DC generator. The meaning of DC generator is nothing but the machine which converts mechanical energy into DC electrical energy. So number of parts of DC generator is shown here. Those are nothing but the nameplate details, yoke, armature, commutator, filled poles and brushes. So we'll go one by one. First one is a field system. So the field systems are used to produce uniform magnetic field within which armature rotates. So this is given by the field poles. And coming to the next one, it is the core of that armature. So the core of an armature is made up of silicon steel laminations. Basically it is a cylindrical shape which carries a armature winding in the slots of that armature core. So coming to the next point is armature windings. So armature windings will be placed in the armature slot in which EMF will be induced. Coming to the next one, it is commutator. So the commutator is used to convert alternating voltage which is generated in the armature winding into direct voltage across the brushes. So next one is a brushes. These brushes are made up of graphite or carbon brushes which are used to convey the current from commutator to the circuit. So how does this DC generator work? This works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. When the coil of DC generator rotates in the magnetic field, induced EMF is produced in that coil. This is how the DC generator works. I hope you have understood all the concepts which are covered in this video, and in next video I'll come up with some new concepts. Thank you.